Taylor Swift, as you may or may not know, recently put out a new album, and there's kind of a funny divide happening in her fan base where you have like the older 30 somethings, because she also just got married or engaged or whatever, I guess engaged. So the older Swifties are like, oh God, it's still possible for me. I still have a chance. Like they're so happy. But the younger ones are like, oh my God, Taylor joined the patriarchy. She's MAGA now. She wants to have white babies. This is evil. I posted this, a lyric from her new song Canceled. Good things I like my friends canceled. I like him cloaked in white robes with eye holes cut out. Turns out that's not the real lyric. People who have been around a long time remember that Taylor used to be like a right-wing meme. Like they would post her in like Nazi outfits and shit like that. Or I guess the real lyric is I like him cloaked in Gucci and in Scandal, which is a lot less cool. This is a real headline, I'm pretty sure, with 14 short words. Taylor Swift just taught a brilliant lesson in leadership. Pretty sure that was like a real headline from like 2015 or something. Putting the meme aside here, they're genuinely mad at her.
The conservative agenda on a silver platter to the masses. And before I go any further, and before you argue with me, you cannot convince me that the master lyricist of our generation, akin to Shakespeare, the Eastern...
Well, let me stop you right there. Akin to Shakespeare? You don't think that's a bit much? Master lyricist akin to Shakespeare? Okay. Hey, I like Taylor Swift as much as the next guy, okay? Haters gonna shake, 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 shake. I like that shit. It's catchy. Akin to Shakespeare? Let's not go fucking crazy.
Egg master of our generation is not aware of what her entire optics and lyrics and album and everything is giving at this very moment. And before you suggest that this was supposed to be a satirical album, I would like to remind you how she feels about this album in her own words.
World to me to have this creative experience where like we knew that we had to bring the best ideas we've ever had.
Yeah.
And I also know the pressure I'm putting on this record by saying that, but I don't care because I love it that much. And there's not other ones coming. This is the record I've been wanting to make for a very long time.
I'll try to rapid fire this as fast as I can so that my video is not an hour long, but we're going to start with the rollout of the album, the announcement of the album on our boyfriend's football podcast. Our boyfriend who plays for the NFL, who we are now aligning our brand with, who is one of the most racist and problematic industries in our country.
You know you're dealing with a dyed-in-the-wool woke tard when the NFL is racist.
Listen, I don't know how long Taylor Swift's been doing this, but I know it's been a pretty good amount of time. She's worked pretty hard.
Like Kaepernick making that video about how the NFL is slavery, how we used to be on the plantation, but now we're on the football plantation. It's like, yeah, basically the same thing. You're a good point.
Hard for her career. Why are we sharing what you are saying is the best piece of work you've ever put out, and you're going to share it with a man? You're going to announce it with a... This is where the optics are starting. We are creeping our way down the conservative pipeline, and before you say that's a reach, I'm not done. We all know what's coming next, the engagement. They got engaged as a package deal with the album rollout. Yes, they did. The album was announced, and 2 days later, it was announced that they were engaged. We could talk about how manufactured that is. We could talk about how inauthentic it is. We could also talk about how it is yet another step towards the conservative pipeline. Now, if you're unaware about her history...
let's just do the last one.
With the orange man, he didn't like her very much. He, in all caps, I hate Taylor Swift. She's a childless cat lady. I want you to bank that for later in the video. But once this engagement happened, we had a public statement put out by Pumpkin Man. And he said, wow, Taylor Swift, you know what? She's a great person. She's a terrific person even. And I'm very happy for them. I wish them best in their marriage. Okay. Now, I'm not claiming that Taylor Swift can control what that man says or that they are partnering in these words. No, I'm not saying that. But the U.S. has a history of using pop culture to further a political agenda. She's doing what he wants everyone else to do, is to get married and have white babies. What I do know that she can control is...
Dude, I mean, it's funny, but it's also horrifying because you have like a pretty white girl here. I'm assuming she's not Jewish, although I guess that's possible. she thinks she's exposing evil because she's figured out that white couples who get married make white babies. That's insane.
That she puts out. And I'm just going to jump right into it. Canceled is an anthem for those who are over being politically correct. And we're breaking down the wall of shame that it means to be canceled. Taylor Swift says it's okay now to be canceled, and that's actually cool. And maybe if I'm canceled, I could be her friend. See where we're taking steps. When I first heard the lyric, I'm not a bad bitch and I'm not a savage, if that is not the most dog whistly shit I've ever heard in my life. Moving on to wish list, let's take a moment for these lyrics.
Wait, so I'm not a bad bitch, I'm not a savage. Basically she's saying I'm white. I'm not a savage. That's so funny.
They want a fat ass and a baby face. They want freedom. They want 3 dogs they call their kids. But I just want you. Have a couple kids.
Wow, actually she's kind of convincing me here now. Hold on. What it was, they want 3 dogs they call their kids? So is she actually taking shots at libtards for real?
Have a couple kids. Have the whole block looking like you.
Damn.
I'll say that again. I want
white ethno state. You know what? Taylor is our gal. She wants the whole block looking like Travis Kelce.
to have
Based? I'm actually coming around. I'm coming around on the thesis here.
To be racially homogenous. She went through this
Based?
entire thing with Trump, right? About how she and her fan base did not like being called childless cat ladies. And now Taylor is calling y'all childless cat ladies because she's about to pop out some kids. And you know what's coming next? Taylor Swift line of baby product. You too could pop out some kids and live in a racially homogenous neighborhood. This song was very much giving pick me. I thought that we learned our lesson with the she wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts. The pick me song of all pick me songs. This is that in this different font, but more worse. Do you understand? Not to mention the blatant disrespect that it is to put a song about Travis Kelce's over a Jackson 5 interpolation.
What?
This all feels so blatantly obvious to me. The pipeline that.
Full disclosure, I haven't listened to the new album, you guys. But there's a song where she sings about Travis Kelce's dick over Jackson 5. And that's bad because they're black and he's white. Got it.
We are sliding.
Kind of want to listen to that one now. I know it sounds gay that I want to listen to a song about a guy's dick, but I'm just curious now. Like the fact that she would write a song about a guy's dick.
Down, especially with her bestie, the same week that the album was announced, Lana Del Rey came out with this cover. The fuck?
We're so back.
Feel like I'm on the show Pranked and also on Black Mirror. It's the crossover episode. This is where I'm going to add, the comment that Travis Kelce made.
That's funny because I feel the same sort of horrific, skin-crawling dystopia. What the fuck is when I listen to you, when I hear how bothered you are about white people being happy together, white women dressing up as housewives from the 50s, when I see how horrified you are by that, I also feel like I'm in some kind of nightmare simulation.
Being honored to play football for Orange Man. And this is where I'm also going to answer your question. Well, does she owe us her political opinions? She's just a pop star. Well, yes, she does. She is a white woman with one of the most massive platforms in our world today. In Miss Americana, she platformed herself as an ally and monetized off of that. So do I expect a white woman with the biggest platform in the world to make moves with politics? Yeah. I do.
Don't be a sore loser. Taylor's ours now, bitch. Deal with it. Taylor's goose stepping out on stage for the next one. All right, we got a couple more, but these are shorter.
The Life of a Showgirl is the kind of album that you release under an authoritarian regime. That's a comment someone left on my initial album reaction video, and let me tell you all the reasons why that's true. In our current political climate of a government shutdown, increased censorship, in my own city of Chicago, military-style ICE raids where they're zip-tying children and arresting aldermen, some will argue that The Life of a Showgirl is a necessary reprieve. This is an album that celebrates joy, and the lyrics might not be that deep, and they might not say that much, but it allows us to have fun. I agree that her lyricism has drastically decreased in quality on this album, but she's saying a lot more than nothing. In fact, what she says is actually glaring, and she's saying that she's aligning herself with MAGA and the conservative right. She does this through misogyny, anti-blackness, and an explicit honesty about how she uses her power and exploits it for profit. I personally think Taylor Swift is tone deaf and petty, so when she's coming for Travis's ex-girlfriend saying that she was only with him for fame or money, something she's totally never done before, that she doesn't realize she's throwing the weight of her billionaire status and the entire music industry at a black woman. When she says she wants to have kids and have the whole block looking like you, she's not thinking.
It's literally all just white bad, black good. Like, you can listen to these people talk for like 20 minutes straight, but all it comes down to is white bad, black good. Like, oh, she criticized Kelsey's ex-girlfriend who is black, and did she ever think about like the power dynamics of attacking a black woman?
About the fact that she's hinting that she wants to surround herself with whiteness. When she says, I'm not a bad bitch, I'm not a savage, she doesn't realize she comes off.
It's not even I'm not a savage. It's just this isn't savage. I'm not a bad bitch. It's like, no, I need you. I'm vulnerable is the point here.
Not a savage. She doesn't realize she comes off sounding like Lana Del Rey's Question for the Culture. She thinks she's just talking about the way people talk on the internet, but those lyrics are heavily associated with black female musicians. Me saying that is not letting Taylor Swift off the hook. And on some level, she had to know that a song celebrating people who are canceled would resonate with the right. For our supposed English teacher, Taylor Swift has said nothing about the state of reading in this country, the fact that politicians are bullying school leaders into censoring books according to ideological preferences. When Taylor got engaged, Trump literally wished her well and said that she's a fantastic person. 1 year ago, he was tweeting that I hate Taylor Swift. So in the end, forget Miss Americana. She's just another billionaire protecting her self-interest.
Oh yeah, because there was big rumors that Taylor Swift was going to endorse Kamala, or did she? Did she endorse Taylor Swift? She did. So she formally endorsed Kamala. So that's what Trump was tweeting about. And then Kamala got her shit pushed in by King Trump. And so now it's all water under the bridge.
Taylor Swift's new album is many things.
Oh God, it's 6 minutes. All right, let's try.
Fortunately, good is not one of them. I knew the album wasn't going to be good as soon as the title was revealed, but the promo pics made me curious, so I have listened to the album in full. And now, having listened to it, the album's problem is glaringly obvious. The problem is Taylor Swift is aging out of being a white girl. Before you scroll, let me cook. When Taylor was a teenager, she wanted to be a pop star, so her parents decided to take the country route. Keep in mind, this is the 2000s. Pop music was highly sexual, it was sleazy, and then you had things like bling rap. It's not a place for a little white girl. Country music, on the other hand, loves a little white girl, and she's blonde, they'll eat her up. So her family moved from Pennsylvania to Tennessee to launch her country career. That's why for the first several years of her career, she faked a southern accent. She was trying to fit in, seem authentic. Once the pop landscape started to change the late 2000s and early 2010s, that's when she started to transition to making pop music. And now to talk about white girls. White girls don't have sex. They don't know what that is. White girls they're cute, they're adorable, they're like dolls, they're precious, they have to be protected. Do you remember a couple months ago whenever parents would bring their kids to Sabrina Carpenter shows and then act aghast because Sabrina Carpenter, who is a highly sexual artist, was referencing sex on stage? Of course.
The anti-white programming is so deep, it's so embedded that things that are like obviously good have to be twisted to be bad just because they're white. So like not being a whore for young women is bad because non-white races are more whorish than the white ones. So that means not being a bad actually because it becomes associated with being white. Stop, hold on, counterpoint. It's good to not be a whore. Did you ever think of that one?
Of course they were, because how could a short, cute little white girl who is also blonde, a blonde, cute little white girl, how could she possibly know what sex is? It's the assumption. Women having sexual freedom and willingly engaging in sex is highly associated with blackness. You can see this most clearly when it comes to things like Disney and Nickelodeon stars. Miley Cyrus, she was Hannah Montana, all-American girl. And what does she do whenever she wanted to shed the Disney image and say, hey, I'm not just a little girl anymore? She releases Can't Be Tamed in bangers. Ariana Grande, another cute little white girl. What does she do whenever she wants to shed the childhood image? She releases Dangerous Woman in Sweetener. They would do things like hang out with rappers. They would incorporate black music styles into their own music. So that way whenever they'd be sexual, it's like, oh, I'm not just a little white girl anymore. And over time, they would drift away from that because that wasn't who they authentically were. They were just using that as a way to escape the chains of being a white girl. Taylor Swift has never had to do that, and why would she?
She's not wrong, but it just shows the problem with the culture being so anti-white. It's the same reason little white girls who aren't pop stars like transition and shit like that, because they're trying to get away from this thing that they've been told is bad. And it's like, that's a huge fucking problem, actually.
Being a white girl so fucking profitable. And the thing about Taylor Swift is that being a white girl is not just profitable for her, it's her entire brand. Because she's just like so awkward. And whenever she dances on stage, she's like bad because she's like awkward. And she loves like cats and baking and like hanging out with her fans. And she would likely continue with this forever, except for one small problem. Taylor Swift is 35 years old. And it's not like she's showing signs of aging or anything. But the brand of being a white girl...
Disclaimer, I'm not being ageist. I'm not saying that you stop being hot at 35. However, that's what they say.
...is very much being a white girl. What happens in a few years whenever she's 40? What happens whenever she starts to get wrinkles? Since you're middle-aged, it's not cute anymore to be awkward. So she's aging out of being a white girl, but she doesn't have a brand.
The fact that white girl goes all the way up to 35 is telling of itself.
Or really even a sense of self outside of being a white girl.
We live in a really infantilized culture.
Also, low-key, this is the entire key to her relationship with Travis Kelce, which is not going to go well, but that's a story for another day. And keep in mind, the world has been moving on. An artist like Sabrina Carpenter could not exist 10 years ago. There was nowhere in the pop landscape for her. For like a cute little white girl who's that sexual. It didn't exist. And then on top of that, things have been rapidly changing politically.
Ever heard of Madonna, lady? I'm sure there's tons of examples you could come up with.
So people want different things from women now. And the life of a showgirl is a testament to Taylor's inability to rise to the occasion. Like on the
Britney Spears, her stuff was pretty sexual.
Song Wish List. Oh, everybody wants bright lights and designer things, and they want like a fat ass. But me, then we get to the chorus, but me, I just want to have all of your kids. I want to have all of your kids, and then I want to live in a house, and I want the driveway to have a basketball hoop in it for our kids. And Taylor's personal struggle between her being her own woman and her being a cute little white girl, it's called Wood because it's in reference to Travis Kelce's, that. But the song isn't sexual at all because...
Whoa, hold on. Who's the awkward little white girl now? Hypocrite much? You can't say dick?
The song isn't about sex. It's about...
Because you're too awkward and innocent. It's fine, by the way. It's fine. I'm just saying. Why pretend like it's a bad thing? Just so you can get a dunk on Taylor Swift.
Justifying the fact that she has sex. The song starts with her picking petals off of a daisy. Oh, he loves me not. Taylor portrays herself as being super insecure until Travis Kelce digmatizes her and opens up her eyes. And keep in mind, white girls cannot be sexual beings. It's not that she has sexual feelings, it's that a man came along and unlocked it in her. The curse was lifted. You see, you guys, it's not about sex at all. It's about love. His love was the key that opened my thighs. I don't have sexual feelings. I'm just a little white girl. because this album is supposed to be her embodying her sexual energy, thus life of a showgirl. But Taylor either feels unable or isn't willing or whatever it is you want it to be. Taylor doesn't actually embody it. She doesn't explore it because the embodiment of her sexual energy would come at the expense of the brand of Taylor Swift. It's seemingly not compatible, or at least she thinks, or her team thinks, that it's not compatible. So she has to be her own fully embodied grown woman in order to keep up with the times, but she also has...
Look, I'm not going to pretend like Taylor Swift isn't kind of fake and manufactured and her image is very curated, and that they probably do have like focus groups talking about her fucking PR and what have you. Having said that, it's kind of telling that it doesn't even ever like occur to the libtard that maybe this is just like what she wants to do. But like maybe Taylor Swift's thought process doesn't involve any of this shit.
To be like a cute little white girl in order to keep up with the brand of Taylor Swift. And in trying to do both, she successfully does nothing. I would be really curious to know if the album was even her idea, especially since so many of the songs sound like rejected tracks off of some of her old albums. Also, how are you gonna have an album called Life of a Showgirl and yet not a single fucking song on the album has a brass section? Showgirl music is big band, it's blaring horns, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And it just did not exist on this album. Not to mention, none of the songs actually have anything to do...
Probably her most fair criticism, yeah.
...with being a showgirl. And really, not even the song The Life of a Showgirl. Like, she could have just used the word follies once, and I would have been satisfied. But discussing why the music isn't good sonically is not really the purpose of this video. If you have any questions or you disagree with me, please let me know. I love thinking about white women, and Taylor Swift is just... she's the embodiment of it. She really is.
Early life check on that one. Taylor Swift having kids will factory reset a lot of women, and we will experience another baby boom. I mean, hopefully these Jews. Is she Jewish? I don't know. She probably isn't. But that last line, like, I didn't even really consider that she would be until that last line where she was like, I just love thinking about white women. I was like, that's weird. Hey, I'm 6'5". Don't, to quote Kanye West, don't take inches off my dick. Hey guys, the clip you just watched is from my daily stream, The Daily Cope, which I do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings at 10 a.m. on the Daily Cope YouTube channel, as well as my Rumble, Odyssey, Cozy, and other platforms. If you liked it, maybe come check out the live stream sometime. We have a good time there. I'll put the link down in the description where you can find it. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Peace.